Hello and welcome back to Quick Looks with the Casual Hour, a very special one, might I add, because you have all of us here. I'm Bobby, joining me, per usual, the gamer on the go, Chase Kenneke, and the gamer that needs to go, Johnny Amazich. How are you two doing this morning? Everybody's here.
You guys are throwing real shade on Patrick.
Well,
Ooh.
he doesn't like racing games. There's not enough Samus in here.
Not enough buff chicks.
Not enough
Forza
buff
Horizon
chicks.
5.
Buff cars, though. Muscle cars.
Yeah.
Just a different type of chick.
That's right. This is Forza Horizon 5, developed by Playground Games, published by Xbox Game Studios. This is available on all the Xbox Ones, all the Xbox Series consoles, PC, Game Pass, PC, and Xbox Game Pass, and on Steam.
Nice.
This is the fifth in the Horizon series from Forza. They normally have a Forza Motorsport come out between Horizon entries, but that hasn't happened because that series is getting more of a reboot, from my understanding.
Cool.
So
yeah,
we got
new
another
consoles, newer graphical overhaul. They want to really take their time for that one. So,
not that this is any slouch usually, but
certainly not. Look at this stuff. This looks gorgeous.
Yeah, this is really cool. Before we hop in here to see more of it, and Johnny, thanks for that info on it, give us a like and subscribe here at the Casual Hour. We do all kinds of fun quick looks like this one. We also bring over our previous streams, and that includes live recordings of our podcasts, some Let's Plays, all kinds of fun stuff that you can check out. So like and subscribe. Let us know what you think about the game in a comment below. I gotta tell you guys, right out of the gate, I really am digging this game quite a bit. And
so Bobby, as denoted here by the enter key there at the bottom right that you just clicked, you're on the PC version?
Yeah, playing this on PC Game Pass. And at the time of recording this one, we're recording this a little bit before the actual release date because I paid for the premium version, and they did an interesting thing for Game Pass subscribers. They let you get the premium one, which included car packs, early access to the game for like $45 versus the $99 that it normally is. So that's what we're looking at here. We're playing this on PC. And there's some neat stuff happening at the beginning of it. I don't remember. So, like, I haven't played this game nearly as much. Well, I haven't played the series nearly as much as you two. Have they always had kind of the seasonal stuff that I'm looking at right now?
In 4, they had literal seasons of like spring, summer, winter, and autumn, and they would have different events and things that took place during those periods because the map would change. There's basically four different versions of the map. And so you'd have races and things that were available in the winter that you wouldn't have, say, in the spring. Because, like, say, in the winter, a lake is frozen over, so you can drive on top of it.
Oh, neat.
And here it seems to be more subtle. Like, the races I've noticed will be set certain times of day with certain weather. Like, it'll be hot, or there might be a sandstorm. It could be raining a little bit. So there is still some weather effects there. It's just not as big of a part of the game as what it was in 4, it feels like.
Nice.
What's your guys' history? Bobby kind of alluded to it there, but he hasn't played the series a ton. How much Forza Horizon have we all played?
I have played a lot over the years. I've even played a little bit of the first one, which was on Xbox 360, because it was a game with gold. But I've put a not insignificant amount of time into every entry since then. So when I first got my Xbox One, I picked up Horizon 2. I played a ton of it, and then I just kind of fell in love with the series after that.
Yeah, I've not played a lot. I think we were all pretty excited when 4 came out, and that was also, if I'm not mistaken, when the Xbox One X launched. And so I remember trading in a bunch of stuff and like moving back over to Xbox after being primarily on PlayStation and Switch, and picking that up, and everybody was super into it, and for whatever reason I just did not commit as much as you all did, and I liked it. I thought it felt really good. I thought it looked really good, and it was a fun game to have to show off that new hardware. But yeah, my experience with the series before that was non-existent, and I did not keep up with like any of the DLC. I didn't do a lot of the seasonal stuff that Johnny was talking about.
And some really good DLC. That Lego DLC was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, Hot Wheels DLC also pretty good.
Chase, you like the snow one, right? That was something you were really into.
Yeah, oh yeah. I really well. I also just like rally car stuff. So getting in the snow, getting some 4-wheel drive stuff. That was a lot of fun to me. I've played. I didn't play the first one, the one set in Colorado, but I've played 2, 3, and 4. 2 was like France and Italy, like Southern Europe.
Yeah.
3 was Australia, which I think until maybe now was the high watermark for the areas that they've been to. Australia was a ton of fun.
Yeah, I love that map a whole lot.
And then maybe like the reason you didn't like 4 as much, Bobby, and I feel like I got this from a lot of people, is this the map wasn't all that great. Being in England, being in Britain, it didn't feel like it had the variety of spaces that a place like Australia or this one set in Mexico seems to have, where you can have some places with snow, you can have some places with volcanoes and sand dunes and water, and there's just a much bigger variety of different kinds of terrain and different things to deal with in this map.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up here. I'm still there's the menu systems, I think, is done in a way that's somewhat easy to understand. I'm trying to find not the playlist, but here we go. So this is really cool. This is breaking down the different things that you can unlock, and these main stages that you're looking at. It'll unlock certain types, so you'll get points that you level up, and then you can dump them into it, and then you can choose how it goes. But these are different biomes. So the first one that I did was some dirt racing down there a little bit further in the south. There's some awesome jungle biomes, and apparently the mountainous region, and this is just gorgeous, like driving up there. So
yeah,
I have really thought, like, there's been times, like, the first thing I did was find all the barns. Like, I thought that was a really cool thing, and I didn't do that in the last one. So I was just driving around looking for the barns and those older vintage cars, but going between the landscapes. Like, there was one that you're literally going up these switchbacks on the mountainside, and the vistas that you get with that, like, it became a lot more than just a racing game to me. Like, it became the same way that I felt. This is a weird thing to say, but like exploring in Breath of the Wild, exploring in The Witcher, and like how I would feel going through some of those turns and valleys and coming across it, like just being in a car, it became a very different experience than what I'm accustomed to with a racing game, and that really stuck out to me in a cool way. Like, I don't feel a lot of pressure to where it's like, okay, you're just gonna go do like a street race, or you're gonna try and do a time trial. Like, I can pull this game up and just drive around and look at shit, hit a few signs, maybe tweak a car a little bit, and feel just as good as I would if I won a race. Like, it's not about racing to me.
It's just happy cruising as you are participating in races.
I think that's one of the great things about this series, is that it has found that kind of really nice balance between a Burnout Paradise, like an open world with lots of tricks and stunt kind of stuff you can do, and then also like a Need for Speed, or at least like the somewhat newer Need for Speeds that are still arcadey, that are still about, you know, fast-paced racing, high octane. Hey, you got people rubbing on you, but you're not doing crashes exactly like you would burn out. Well, okay, maybe some crashes.
Like some crashes.
But yeah, they found this really nice balance where it just feels right. And yet it also has enough Forza Motorsport in it where you're able to upgrade and tune your cars a little bit, that you can start to get into really fiddly territory if you want, but it's also arcade enough to not have to give a shit about any of that.
Yeah, like if you want to upgrade, like if there's a car that you really like that isn't the right series to use, you know, in a race or whatever, you can just auto upgrade it to whatever class you need it to be. Or you can go in and choose all the parts that you put into it yourself. So it's...
And they've also continued to...
really cool cars, too.
Yeah.
And they've continued to open it up, too. I know in some Horizon games, like, hey, you need to have this kind of car. We're using C-Class cars. It needs to be C-Class compact stuff. Like when we played Wreckfest, Wreckfest has very specific, hey, you need this kind of car, and everybody's going to have this kind of car. You get a few options within that category. These are the cars you're racing to make it more balanced. And this game, it kind of does that too. You're mostly going against SUVs. There's some other hotter cars in here, but the game, this one allows you to like whatever race you want to do. You just bring the car you want, and it'll make a group around you, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and it also does a really nice job of letting you switch cars on the fly without like having to go back and do a bunch of stuff. And I can have a car delivered to me and be in the same area that I am. So maybe I come across
really
an event
nice.
that I think, yeah,
that's new.
So like if there's an event that I come across in the real world that I want to do, like I can just pull up my garage and it's like, okay, deliver the car to me. It does a quick little reset and I'm in that car now. And I think that's awesome. That allows me to just go right into something that might be more off-road, or if there's a speed trial, I can pull out a much faster car, and I like that quite a bit. It makes me feel like I have like an inventory with me. I'm not great at racing games. I have a lot of fun though.
Yeah, we decided
better.
you should be the one to do the racing because
So, yeah, we'll put me on.
You're taking those corners like a champ.
Oh, yeah.
But I think where I would probably have the most fun, and I haven't even really dug too deep into it, is like getting very nuanced and like some of the customization stuff. Like I plan on making a skin for the casual hour and like having our graphics in there.
Bobby,
and,
they're
like,
called
really,
liveries, please.
Yeah,
sorry,
please.
liveries.
Yeah,
So-
there's always some really incredible, like goofy, like anime ladies. I guess a couple of Pokemon liveries.
Just a couple.
Yeah,
Just a few.
and also just like some really nice paint jobs that people have made.
Do you guys
Yep.
know if the liveries that people made for 4 still work here?
I don't know.
I don't
Not
know.
sure. I mean, there were enough for a lot of the cars that I almost wonder if that's the case.
Because there are,
because we
there's
should
a
also
lot of
mention that
overlap here.
we're-
Like there are certainly new
Yeah.
cars, and some cars probably aren't here from 4, but
It's a lot of the same.
yeah, like my car,
but-
the one that I drive, a Subaru WRX is still in here. Well, I mean it's a couple of years off, but it's basically the same.
Yeah. We
Are you
should
gonna
also
make it
add
look
that
just like your car?
Yeah, that's,
we are
that's what I've done in the
playing-
past. I just take off the big dumb
Nice.
spoiler that's on the STI version because I don't have that, and it works just fine.
we're also playing this early.
Right.
This is
Yes.
the premium upgrade to the game.
Although
They got
when
you
somebody's
early.
watching this, the game is probably out by then, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we may be driving some cars and things that I think you got with this deluxe version.
Yes, that's true. Oh, look who's in first place.
So, speaking of things that
Come
are
back, kid.
that are new and different about this one, because racing games, especially these numbered titles, that it's not annual, but it is, they're what, every 2 years for Horizon, it seems.
Yeah, it's been 3
Okay.
since 4.
Shit. A little too much.
A little too much pepper on that.
What else is different here from the previous games? Have I heard correctly that there's maybe a bit more focus on story stuff?
Johnny, you want to take that one?
I don't know. It doesn't feel.
Like, your character has a voice for the first time, is what I've heard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. There's some dialogue with your character. I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't pay too much attention to that stuff when I'm playing these games.
Hey,
I'm not-
Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
It's the place to meet up with friends,
Um,
sit back, and, well, tour across Mexico.
But it hasn't felt like it's gotten in the way, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
Like, I've been playing another racing game, Riders Republic, and the story in that is just god awful, and I
And
skip
that's Ubisoft, right?
every single. Yes.
That
Yeah.
tracks.
And the gameplay is a lot of fun, but the story stuff they try and cram in there is just terrible.
Johnny, you also have been playing a little bit of that Hot Wheels racing game,
Hello.
right? How does that
Yeah.
compare here? Especially because Forza Horizon has had Hot Wheels DLC in the past.
I mean, that's just all arcade. You know, like you're driving literal Hot Wheels cars on a blown up plastic track. So it's much goofier than this is. But yeah, like you said earlier, like the Horizon games always kind of ride the line between arcadey and, you know, I feel like it's for both. It's for gearheads and it's for people who just enjoy a fun racing game. You know.
Speaking of goofy, do they still have some of the big stunt races where you're like, oh, I'm racing a plane, or this is a jet, and we're going against each other? Okay.
Yeah, that's the opening mission. I've had another event I did where I was racing against 2 monster trucks down a mountain. But it hasn't felt as like, I don't know if rigid's the right word. Like there hasn't been as many of them so far. But once you fill out this, like each event, like the different biomes, like the last thing that you unlock is like a big event, which is usually like a multi-tier race. So I'm wondering if they're saving some of the showcase stuff for that, and each, like the last section.
Bobby, that was really quick to just get that new car delivered, and now you're driving Firebird. Nice.
Yep. And this was one that so they have the wheel spin reward stuff, and I got that here. I'm gonna pull this one up really quick and show you. This is one that has a plane racing around you. But this is it's like a Forza edition of this car, and so it has a permanent buff on it, which this one's gonna have a buff around drifting.
Yeah. Is this a unicorn? I think that's what they were calling him in 4, where it was like, this is a car that has a specific buff that other cars didn't have because it's a unicorn line.
Yeah.
That BMW he was driving was also a Forza edition. And so they tend to have, a little bit better tuning.
Oh, they put you in a specific car for this one, though. Okay.
Yeah, this is the opening one that you would. This is how they introduce you to what this game is. The Hoonigan. So this might be fun to show off. I mean,
that's a good car. I use that one regularly.
This Hoonigan.
I put a different coat of paint on it, but it's a good car.
And I'll shout this out too. This game performs incredibly well. Playing this on PC, especially, like I can run this at max settings on my computer and not have any issues with it dipping below like my targeted frame rate on it. I'm playing it in 4K and just having an absolute blast with it. It's doing very well. They've had a few server-side issues when it comes to multiplayer stuff, but that's to be expected with these big games. And I think Game Pass being far more popular than it was when 4 launched, you're going to see quite a few more people checking this out than before.
I'm very interested to see. This is probably the first game that I will be getting / playing on my Steam Deck. I'll be very excited to see how it performs there.
I think it'll do great on there. I mean, racing games, in my opinion, typically do a pretty good job. Oh, I missed the checkpoint. Oops. Luckily, I can rewind, baby. Pretty excited to have this on the go. I think I read an article about this is the perfect game to check out on cloud gaming, like on your phone. They think just with like I don't know if that's how I'd want to experience it, but I think the laid back approach that this game already has, in conjunction with the portability of that, I could see that. So now we got some motorbikes that have entered the stage, and
don't kill him, buddy.
So these races have always been like a little rubber banded, so you can more or less so you can win them, but they are spectacles. The whole point is, hey, I'm driving against a plane and motorcycles and doing crazy jumps over pyramids. It's fun.
Yep.
It's a good time.
I like Mexico quite a bit as a setting, though. Like the varying degrees of architecture and then biomes has been really cool to see.
Super colorful. Like in this city, obviously with the buildings being different colors, but just like we talked about before, the variety of biomes offers so much more color in there as well. Of the dark greens of a jungle area, the browns of the sand, big watery areas, beaches, that kind of stuff. This is just a really nice area to drive through.
I think this is my favorite map in any of these games. Yeah, Australia was really good.
Yeah,
but I think I might like this one the most, and I can see this being my favorite game in the series, honestly.
Yeah, it's
oh shit, a little too much
mustard on that one.
A little too much. I thought maybe after this race we could just go through some of the menu stuff and show some of the things that you could expect from a racing game with this one, like as far as like how you can do like auction houses. Like we don't have to go into that, but just talking through what that would look like beyond just like paying the $45 that we did to have some of these better cars. Like there's definitely
I mean that was one of the things I ended up doing a lot in 4 was just refreshing the auction house and waiting for people to put those unicorns up on for sale, because at that point I'd gotten so much cash that I'm ready to spend something big on a cool thing. And, that was cool, just kind of trolling around looking for those things.
So yeah, this is a great introduction. I think it gives you a good idea of like going through different biomes and the wild, weird stuff that you can expect from some of these. And of course,
gotta have your dances.
My character in a spacesuit.
Now, we didn't steal any of these dances from YouTubers, did we? TikTokers or Viners or whoever the fuck these days, or Carlton.
No.
Nobody stole Carlton's dance anymore. That's a good chunk of change.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Nice. They do the loot coloring here too, which I like a lot. Common, rare, epic, legendary, and then the unicorns. I don't know what we're calling them this time around, but it's really neat how you can go and do that. Also, if you are a gearhead and you're into cars, and there's a certain manufacturer of car that you like a whole lot, you can really pinpoint that stuff down. So right out the gate, we've got a few things that we can look at, and I don't know if my house is nearby. Let me see if I can find that really quick. I think this is my house. Yeah. Current home. So let me get us there, because there's a different menu with that, and then
can you go into first-person mode, cockpit mode?
Yeah. Oh, hang on. I activated.
You hit the right bumper.
That was photo mode, which is really good in this game.
I believe it. Photo mode.
That's not switching.
There you go. Now this is racing.
Is this how you play?
I never used to be like this, and then I played it a couple times in Forza Horizon and really fell in love with it. I feel like the turning is so much more intuitive. You're missing out a little bit on some of the point of view perspective stuff, but there's something about riding on that line that feels a lot better when you can just see the line in front of you and you don't have the car covering it up. So I've really gotten into this, and then I've started doing it in all the racing games that offer it. This is the way I play Wreckfest these days.
Oh, nice. Do you think that you would ever be the type of person to use an actual steering wheel and pedals?
That's maybe a little too much for me. I don't play racing games religiously enough to make that matter. The same thing for flight sticks or that dumbass Steel Battalion controller. Actually, that dumbass Steel Battalion controller sounds like something I would want, but maybe not to play games with, just to have.
Just to have, yeah.
Now, what about this?
This doesn't feel right to me. I want to have the steering wheel in front of me. That's even worse. And then, does it have one? Yeah, that's
this
no.
one.
That's an absolute no. That's just wrong. That just makes me sick.
Nightmarish.
I gotta have. Yes, this makes sense of it's an unobstructed view. What do you want? And it's I want to. I cannot do that. That's that's just
Yeah.
I cannot abide that.
I wonder what a VR headset in a racing game like this would be.
I bet it would be pretty cool. That game, like,
Yeah.
it makes more sense to me. Like, if you play that in cockpit mode, for sure, I bet that feels better than... Bobby, I know you've had trouble in VR games where you walk around, but your physical body is not moving, so it gives you that awful feeling. But you're sitting down in a car, you know what sitting down in a car feels like, so if you have the steering wheel in front of you, I feel like that would be enough of enough of a thing for your mind to go, okay, this seems right.
So here's the house, and you can unlock other houses in the game. You get this one for free after, I think, like a couple of the introductory missions. But in here, you have your garage, buying and selling. You have your
You don't
festival.
get to customize your house at all?
I wanted to pull... I don't think you get to customize the house. There's different.
It's more
versions.
of just a maybe a quicker place to get to than the Horizon Festival site itself, because there are different ones you buy on the map.
I mean,
so
that,
I think, like,
that
if
Hot
you know,
Wheels
like,
game
you're doing
lets
races.
you change the countertops of your basement. So, tick one for Hot Wheels.
I wanted to grab some of these barn finds because they take a minute for them
I
to
haven't
get ready.
found this one yet.
But the one that I'm most excited for,
It's a nice
we're going to
car.
unveil
What is that,
next.
60, 69, 68?
I think so. I don't know if we can see it anymore. Yeah, we can. That is a 68. This is the one that I'm so
Jimmy.
fucking excited for.
Oh, that was one of the first
man.
ones I found.
Yeah, look at that.
I think you might be Oscar.
I think it was in.
I love it.
I think it was in the IGN review or maybe the GameSpot review. The reviewer was talking about there's a Volkswagen Beetle in here that's a barn find, and one of the characters that you pal around with in here has like a real attachment to the Beetle, especially because the Beetle has had such a connection to Mexico as well. That's kind of where I was alluding to with more story. It's like there are a series of missions, I guess, where you use that Volkswagen Beetle, and the character kind of tells you more stories about how it meant something to them or to their family.
They've gotten much better at racing since then, lo juro.
Trying to find it on. I know which one you're talking about. I don't think it's ready to
probably
collect
a
yet.
Further secret thing.
Oh no, I've got it. I've got
okay.
all the barn finds. I'm just waiting for them to be ready. But there's one that was, I think, Uncle Victor, and it belonged to a family member. And they're like talking about like how it did it, and there's another one about like exporting and importing cars at the time, and like how in Mexico like this was the car that we did all the winning with. So we got a couple legendaries there from the barn finds, which is really cool. And the other thing that I wanted to show off, you can change your name, and it says Bobby with a funny enunciation on here, but it's still cool that it's not saying like, hey player or hey guy, like it's saying your name. You can customize your character.
It says your name. It
depends on your name.
It definitely says Johnny's name. That's an easy one.
It does say Johnny.
Might say Chase. Chase is a little tougher, but it's probably in there.
So you can find some different legendary, rare, etc., all that stuff for it. Your festival playlist. This is that. I think like a battle pass is the best way I can explain it. And you're earning some series progression or season progression. I'm sorry, and then that'll help you unlock some of these seasonal things.
Speaking of playlists, how's the music
thing.
in this version?
It's been pretty good. I think Pulse is the station that I've liked the best so far.
Did they have some Beastie Boys on the hip hop station?
Yeah, it's playing right now.
Oh, look at that.
Let's turn that off before YouTube turns us off.
No kidding. You can buy new and used cars. That's you have to travel to the festival for that. We're not going to do that right now. Car Mastery.
Okay.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I don't know if this is in the other ones or not.
Maybe it's the same here, but like you have to pick certain options for it to open up the options around it. Or does this let you just pick any of them? Okay.
Yep. So you would start here.
Got it.
and then it goes that way, and then this would go here. The Bronco. Let me pull that back out because I've been using that one quite a bit.
The new Bronco.
I can show you some of the things.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
People seem to really like that car.
I think this is one of the cars that was in that pack.
Just not in the video game. I'm probably in the video game too, but like this,
I like
it's
it.
gotten a lot of fanfare that people are happy the Bronco's back.
I really love the old Broncos.
Same.
OJ Simpson ruins it.
Same. So car mastery for this one. I've unlocked this, and I was just waiting to see because I didn't know if it was like across the board, or if it was per car, so I didn't want to like dump a bunch of points into it.
Yeah, it is per car, so you want to make sure you
more
get
skill
a
score
car that you actually really like before you start burning all these skill points.
Yeah, start dumping stuff into it for sure.
You can see your car collection. You can change the horn. This is that car tuning that Chase was mentioning earlier. I mean, you can do some really crazy shit.
I'm just gonna mess up a car if I even touch one of those things.
I never look at that menu.
You can see your stats. There's one thing called gift drop, so I could gift a car if I wanted to. Yeah, so like I
put a couple into barns. You can do that.
Oh, you did?
After the bar find. Yeah, I put my extra Corvette into one of those barns.
So I might do that as well, because you can go back to the barn and drop stuff off. Here's the different clubs you can, rivals, all that fun stuff, convoy. The creative hub. This is where you can see your photo gallery of things that you've taken. The Super 7, which I'm not quite sure what this is.
The Horizon Super 7. Complete 7 challenge
but I think it's just you can create your own challenges, final groups, the tunes. You can see if you change that around, or tuning. You can upload this or download these things as well. So maybe somebody's got one figured out for it.
Like, here's somebody who knows what they're doing. Let's pick up their tuning setting. That's all right. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do some really nice stuff with it.
Previous games as well, because I would.
Okay.
I would do that too. So.
There's a drone mode that you can do now also, instead of just the photo mode. You can do that.
That might be helpful really when it comes to something like the barn finds. Like if you're in a deep forest or something and just need some eyes in the sky, maybe you can just turn on drone mode and get up there and see if you can find buildings or something. That can be cool.
Message center stats, and then kudos. But no, like, look, I think that there's enough here to really keep me invested in what's going on with it, and I'm really digging this game,
Bobby,
guys. I think it's really cool.
Take a look at the. I know it takes you to the festival, so if you're not ready to do that, that's okay. But can you go in there and show me the Warthog? Because we did a casual Friday stream.
Absolutely.
And somebody said that was still an option in here, so I'd kind of like to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that? I guess that would be in the shop, maybe.
It'd be in the auto show.
Okay.
It's probably under.
So let's see
probably
here.
Under, what would you think? Microsoft.
Right there. Nope. Go back too far.
There it is.
Yeah. No Gauss rifle on it, but.
Oh shit!
People made some liveries.
How about a Hello Kitty Warthog?
What you want? How much did that cost?
Does it let me see?
Okay, you're almost there.
850,000 credits. But Bobby, you should have a car pass if you haven't used it already.
We don't need to make
a free car
on this.
You can get for yourself.
Oh, really?
If you haven't used it.
Warthog is.
I mean, the Warthog's pretty cool, right? Maybe I can use it and just grab. Oh man, there's an ODST one too.
This is fun.
That's pretty cool.
I'm a little disappointed because I have an Xbox One, so I could totally play this game. But if I'm going to play this game, I want to play this game at the best it can be. Well, maybe not the best it can be because I'm going to get a Steam Deck, and that's probably not the best console for it specifically. But yeah, I mean, it'll be the PC
pretty
version.
Good, man.
It'll have some higher settings and things like that. It'll probably be better than the Xbox One. But yeah, like there's a part of me that's like, it's kind of a bummer that people are playing this and I am not. But then also, I know what this game is. Like this is, it's a better Forza Horizon 4, and that's great. That sounds like an awesome game. but it also tells me like, I don't need to play this game right now, especially when all of us are so deep in Game of the Year stuff and have a lot to catch up on before that happens.
Right.
Like if any of you guys bring this up in December, I'll back you on it. But I just don't know if it's something I need to be playing right now. Man,
how about this? This is pretty fucking crazy.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah, next they need to bring
That's
up
cool.
It's good stuff.
Oh god, Wraith. Anything else that we need to discuss on what this game is before we wrap up here today?
Just go off road and go up that mountain and take the biggest jump you can. Like you're in a Warthog, you can do it.
All right.
And then say yeehaw, like one of them Marines.
Yeehaw.
See that mountain, Bobby? You can go to there.
Yeah, this. You can go to there. You're not wrong.
Bushes? Fuck bushes. Cacti?
We can absolutely
Fuck
go
cacti.
there. We don't need them. We don't need any of it.
Right.
Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads. Man, this thing is pretty stout.
It's good.
Yeehaw! God, I'm making short work of this mountain. Holy shit, no wonder nobody fucked with the Spartans in this thing. Oh man, this is dumb.
Yeah. I also just like
possible.
doing this sometimes because you're getting all those points for air or little drifts. It gives you a lot of combo points just by having fun and doing something dumb. Fuck you, Wrx. Yeah.
Don't mind us. Fuck you. Holy cow, this is crazy how fast we're getting there.
Sure.
Volcanic activity? What's that all? Is this a volcano?
It is a volcano.
Holy shit.
No, driving lava. Driving lava.
Driving lava?
That's some hot driving. Yeah,
Oh,
there
God,
you
come
go.
on,
There you
come
go.
on,
You got to
come
Skyrim horse it.
Come on,
You
come
got
on.
it. Yep. Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
Yep, you're fine. You're fine.
Nailed it.
Everything's good.
Perfect.
Alright, that's probably enough. Yeah.
Alright. This is cool. Hey, we stream games Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Oh, well, Mondays and Fridays, 10:30 p.m. Central. We record a podcast Wednesdays at 10:30 p.m. Central on twitch.tv/casual hour. We play quick looks like this, usually post them on Tuesday and Thursday mornings. This has been Forza Horizon 5 on PC. Joining me, Chase and Johnny of the Casual Hour. This is really cool. Thank you all for hanging out and talking about your love for the series and checking out some of the new stuff on this one because it seems pretty alright.
Fuck that sign.
Fuck that sign. Cool. Thanks guys for being here and thanks for checking the game out with me. Take care.